All right, let's take a look at a problem for MATLAB for week 1 here. So this problem, this example problem, I'm having you calculate the area of a rectangle. Could be a square also, right? So you're going to be inputting values into the program. They're going to be part of the program, so they're not going to be user changeable. And they're going to be side 1, side 2, as I've labeled here, right? If side 1 and side 2 are the same, then it's a square, not a rectangle. So what I'm going to be looking for you to submit when you do programs for MATLAB is I'm going to be looking for you to submit something like this, discussing the problem that you're trying to solve, showing a little sketch possibly if needed to explain it. Then I need you to, or want you to map the inputs and the outputs, right? So in this case, we've got two inputs, side 1, side 2, right? We've got one output, which will be the area, right? The one equation that we're going to use for this problem is going to be area equals side 1 times side 2, right? There's no decision. So there's no if statements or any kind of decisions in this. It's just a straightforward calculation. Right, the other piece of information that I'm going to have you give to me for these problems is a flowchart. Right, so put together the logic for the flowchart. Right, I've got a start block here. Right, and then I've got two I/O blocks: inputting side 1, inputting side 2. We've got a process block where we're doing the multiplication. Right, we're going to multiply side 1 times side 2. Right, and then we have another I/O block showing we're going to output the area, and we're going to end that. We're going to end the program. So this is straightforward program, very simplistic of what you're going to be doing to solve the problem. And last but not least, you need to provide at least two sets of hand calculations. So I've got one set here, 5 and 7, and you can see the area should be 35, and I've got a 12 and a 36, and the area should be 432. So these hand calculations will combine with the program to prove that the program is correct. So continuing that example, I am using, in this case, Octave rather than MATLAB. Right? In both cases, the code is essentially the same. There's a few commands that work in Octave that don't work in MATLAB, and vice versa. But for this real simple program, this is the area of the rectangle. It'll work in either place. So you can see I have my M file here. I opened up my editor. I completed an M file. So what I expect for you to have in your M file is I expect you to have comments saying your name, what the program is doing, or some kind of name for the program. It's calculating the area of the rectangle. And then I expect comments for each of the commands so that you can match this back up to your flowchart. All right, so side 1 in this case is 5, side 2 is 7. All right, those are my values for side 1, value for side 2. And then area I'm displaying of side 1 times side 2. Now, you'll notice that for side 1 and for side 2, I have the semicolon, which will suppress the output. And for the area, I don't put that so that when I run this program, it'll display the area. So if I run this program, click on Run, you'll notice that over here in the workspace, my variables have populated. The area of 35, right? Remember 5 times 7 is 35. You'll see my value for side 1 and for side 2. If I go and look at my command window, what you'll see is the program was run, area of rectangle, and area equals 35 was displayed. So if I go back to the editor, all right, if you remember from what I just showed you a few minutes ago, probably a few seconds ago now, we had 12 and 36 was the other one. So if I put in my values of 12 and 36, oops. All right, so you see I put in my values, side 1 of 12, side 2 of 36. You'll see that I have not run it yet, so I still got the old values here. When I hit run, you'll notice now that you'll see that 12 and 36 for my two sides and 432. And again, if I switch over to the command window, you'll see area of rectangle ran again, and area equals 432. Just like with Excel, there is no keeping track of units here. So it did the 12 times 36, got the answer of 432. It's up to the user to know what those units meant. So there you go. There is a real simple calculation of showing you how to use MATLAB or Octave, in this case it's Octave that I'm using, to do a real simple problem and what it is that I'm expecting for you to turn in the course.